everybody, and welcome to episode 38 of the Let's Play world. We're going to start off today by collecting a bunch of sand and turning it into glass and adding it to the ocean monument. So if you guys have been watching my other series on the Mindful SMP, thank you, first of all. And then secondly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what is the difference between this series and that series. So the Let's Play is very much just me being creative. It's a big art project where I get to build and do whatever I want and create this thing. And I have a lot of fun doing it and a lot of fun sharing it. And if you're newer to the game, I also have a good time teaching and explaining why and how I do the things I do. The SMP, on the other hand, is much more improvisational. It's me figuring out how to exist with other people. And it's much more of an experiment. Things happen that I can't plan for. You know, I usually go in with an intention, you know, I'm going to build a thing, but then people show up, or I discover that, you know, a farm already exists and I don't have to make this thing. Or somebody stops by my place with a shulker box full of mending books and netherite. That's never going to happen in my Let's Play world. So if you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to, because it's really different. And it's a very mature world that we're playing in right now. I learned that they have been on that world since 1.14. So a lot has been built, a lot has already been done. I'm having a good time figuring out, you know, how to fit in and getting to know the people on there. When 1.17 happens, we will actually be resetting the world, and I will start at square one with everybody else, and it'll be much more collaborative and a lot more fun at that point, I think. It's been cool seeing how other people play as well. You know, I'm used to kind of the episodic way of playing, where, you know, I make episodes and I kind of tell a story with a little bit of a narrative. A lot of people are just streamers, and they, you know, stream, that's how they interact with the world, and that's what they create. And that's cool as well. It's a different way of doing things, and learning to coexist with those sorts of creatives has been really, really cool and interesting. I still haven't met everybody or run into everybody on the server, although we do talk in a Discord. But there's people from all over. There's people from Texas, people from Nashville, there's people from England, there's people in Australia. There's a girl who's from Greece. So yeah, all over the world. It's really interesting. You get up in the morning and there's people who are just getting ready for bed. And when I get ready for bed, there's people who are just getting up, and very, very interesting interacting in that way. So anyway, I highly encourage you to check it out if you haven't yet. It's a fun series, and it's a little different than what I do here. So it's worth the time. All right, one more shulker box of sand going into the smelter. One more shulker box full of glass, and we're going to head over to the ocean monument. Well, that right there is 2 shulker boxes of glass. I think it's going to take a little less than 1 more shulker box of glass. I'm going to finish out that part right there. Now that we're done with the ocean monument for the day, let's talk about our waterfront project. I think what I want to do today is work a little bit on the north end. A couple things I want to add down here. One is I want to add like a stable, somewhere to keep animals. And that way the animals that we've been keeping over in our little pens way over there, we can move them over here. And the other thing I want to do is I want to add some buildings. Trick down here, because of this curve, is figuring out where would the buildings go and what would make sense. So I'm just going to play with some spacing and some layouts and see what I can come up with here. So I've been fiddling around with some block placement and that kind of thing. this corner makes things a little tricky. So I haven't completely figured out how to make, the buildings here transition to the buildings over here. But I'm kind of getting an idea of like having, some large buildings here, maybe some smaller buildings here, something happening on the corner, and then the stables right along here. I think we'll probably do it in phases and kind of figure it out as we go. I'm thinking we'll have a couple of different stalls here where we can have like cows and pigs. So I'm very much just kind of freestyling these and trying to figure it out as I go. Decided to go with the dark oak because it's easy to get a lot of this wood, and I figured whoever built this would probably want to use something less fancy, just something that they had a lot of. So anyway, that's my thinking so far. The other thing I'm thinking is I do want these buildings to all look a little bit different, and so I'm trying to get a little bit creative with some of the ornamentation and that sort of thing. So this is what I decided to go with. Dark oak sides with a spruce roof, some spruce accents, and then these cobble ornamentations along the front. Put some light in there and then tore up the floor to make it look like animals live in here. And I think this is going to work. It's not nearly as weathered as some of the other structures I made, but I think that's okay. I don't think they all need to be like it was built at the same time. Maybe this is a newer building, or maybe it was cared for better. And, in the end, we're going to have a whole bunch of buildings, and so I don't want any of them to specifically pop out. I want them to all kind of, fit together and be a big amalgamation of stuff. So I think this is going to work out really well. Next step, of course, is we need to get animals in here. All right, so I've got cows, I've got some sheep, and I have some pigs, and I think that's what we're going to bring over there. Come on, cows, we're going to your new home. And there we go. Well, I don't think I need all of these sheep. There we go, the perfect number of sheep. Perfect. Come along, pigs. And there we go. Super cool. I think that works out really, really well. From up here, it looks pretty cool as well. Starting to fill out a little bit here. Our buildings and whatnot. I think the buildings that are going to be over here are going to be a little bit taller. Like maybe they were houses or businesses or something like that. Let's see if we can get one more building done here. And there is our very first house on the waterfront. Very happy with how it turned out. Did a nice little stone foundation here with some little details that I very much like. I swapped out the blocks for stairs along the top so that things wouldn't be spawning up here. Mostly oak up top with a little bit of the mushroom stem here. I think it has a really cool kind of like a stucco kind of texture. Used trapdoors to do some shutters and a nice little flower pot. There's not anything really going on inside yet, but there's plenty of room. We definitely could build something. I just put a lamp up in the window to keep things from spawning up there. But yeah, very happy with this one, and it's a great first house in our waterfront project. Since last episode, I have found 3 more music discs. This one is called Ward. This one is called Stall. That one's pretty groovy. And this last one is called Mall. Super fun. We'll add those to our collection, and I'll keep looking for more. Well, that's where we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just a reminder to check out my other series on the Mindful SMP. There's a link in the description. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.